What's up, everybody, and welcome to the very first edition of the Opening Whistle radio show right here on Messin.com.
Yeah,
MessinRadio.com. Apparently, I can't even get things right. This is how you know it's the inaugural show. I'm Albert Albanese.
I'm Avi Schiffman.
And for those of you guys who don't know anything about us, which you probably don't because this is probably the first time you're listening to us, or you know who we are and you're just, out there and supporting us, which is cool. We're going to talk a little bit about the NFL today. So, yeah. It's kind of exciting to do a live show. How are you feeling, Avi?
Oh, I'm feeling great. This is very exciting. Hopefully we have at least 3 people listening.
I was hoping for a little bit more than 3, but hey, you know what?
Yeah, at least. I said at least 3.
I said 5. I think 5 was my over.
5 is good. I think we're going to get over there.
All right, I hope so.
Hopefully.
So kind of exciting. We're doing this on a Monday night. We got the Detroit Green Bay game right in the background. We're going to talk about everything that happened this Thursday and then Sunday. So we're going to get right into it. But the cool thing about this whole deal is that if you guys want to get involved in this show, you can actually call us. And if we can figure out how to pick up the phone, because I didn't ask that before I walked in here, we can answer your call. I hope we have the ability to do that. If you guys call and you don't get anything, this is our first time. We don't know what the hell we're doing, to be honest.
Yeah.
But give it a shot. It's 609-910-0687. I've been in the studio before. I have seen people answer phone calls. I just haven't. I don't know how to. I don't know if I remember how to do it.
It's okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I hope.
Worst case, I'll just pretend. I'm a caller.
I think they're gonna know.
Or you can do your British accent. Yeah.
Well, I was planning on doing that when I talked about the Jaguars, but
okay.
We'll get there. All right, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to go over all the Thursday night games, the Thursday night game and all the Sunday games, and we'll kind of take as things are going in this 7-0 Detroit, Detroit's up 7-0 right now with 10:40 left in the second quarter over the Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers. Well, things go on in this game. I guess we'll kind of point them out too, but let's start with the Thursday night game, Avi. We had the Jets, who, if you guys are fans of the podcast and you actually listen to the Opening Whistle podcast that was posted this past week, we picked we put in our predictions for these games, and the Jets. We both picked the Jets, and the Jets were.
Well, I originally picked the Bills, but then I changed my mind.
But you were smart and you picked my Jets.
Yes, because you know what, the Jets are looking like a good team.
Yeah, they are. I'm impressed. They won 34-21. Their defense played solid this week. Again.
Great. I mean, they're you got to give it up for Todd Bowles.
Wait. We got a call. Hold on. Let me see if this works. Hold on. Hi, caller. Are you there? Can you hear us? Can you say things? Hello? Wait. Is this supposed to be? I don't know. I feel like I answered this. Answer. Oh no. All right, I think I might have broken it.
Do we have the number there?
Hold on. It said that Skype is not responding, so that's not helping. Hello.
Oh, I know who this is. I recognize that number.
Hello. Do we have you? I don't know what's going on.
Oh, that's my best friend, Aryeh.
Oh no. Well, all right. I don't. Hold on. Is this? Wait. No. Hello. All right, this show is off the rails already, folks. We got a caller, and we don't know how to answer it. So there's that.
So let's continue.
All right, so
we try to figure this out.
Yeah,
but so, with Todd Bowles, what a job. I mean, he's got to be in the running for Coach of the Year.
I agree.
From where you thought the Jets were going to be this year, where I thought they were going to win maybe 2 games, where mostly everybody else did. You got to give up for Todd Bowles for coaching up these guys.
I agree.
And their management for what they did, getting rid of all the bad seeds, getting rid of Marshall and Richardson, and these young guys are going to have to start taking more of a role in this.
I agree. Well, here's the big thing. The Jets were supposed to be winless this year. And here they are. They're 3-4 right now, right? Or four.
The Jets are 4-5.
4-5. I'm sorry, 4-5. So they won 3 more games than everybody predicted they were going to. I know that I predicted they were going to win 4 games this year. So they've already hit my total already before they hit their bye. So I'm pretty excited about that.
And they're looking like a 7-8 win team right now.
They could. 9.
Listen, they're in this. We were talking about this before the show. They're in this.
They're in the hunt.
And you should be very excited.
I'm really excited. Josh McCown, 14 for 20, 140 yards with a touchdown. Matt Forte got involved this week, 77 yards and had 2 touchdowns. But Robbie Anderson is looking like a monster, 48 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he's becoming an elite Jets receiver.
And a big thing is shutting down LaShawn McCoy, which is not easy to do.
Shady had 25 yards.
25 yards.
Tyrod Taylor had 35 yards rushing. He had more rushing yards than LaShawn McCoy.
He actually had a decent game. I mean, it was in garbage time at the end, but they made somewhat of a comeback. But yeah,
29 for 40, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's a respectable Tyrod Taylor game.
It is, but the Jets dominated the whole time.
He did.
The whole game.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. By the way, I think I might have figured out why we couldn't hear the caller. So if you guys want to try calling in again, we can. You can do that. If it happens this time, then I don't know. I don't know.
Call back. Yeah. You know who you are. Call again. Try it again.
Give it a shot. Wait, we got it. Wait, hold on. Let's see if this works. Hello, caller. Are you there? Hello?
Yes.
Oh!
Hey. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name's Ari. I'll say Ari.
Ari, come
and
on.
I'm calling from Linden, New Jersey.
Oh.
First of all, welcome to the opening whistle and being our first caller. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you very much.
What do you got for us today, Ari?
Yeah. So I want to know your opinion because Avi knows I'm very strongly opinionated when it comes to the current political status of the NFL, which when it comes to the kneeling part of it. Because I've heard a lot of people say that they're sick of the political state that the NFL has become, as opposed to just watching a game and enjoying it.
Well, Abed,
why don't you take this, Albert? We've had many conversations about this. I want to hear your take.
All right. So, I mean, my opinion on the whole thing is this. I understand where these guys are coming from. You know, it's a peaceful protest, and a lot of people's idea is where do you protest? If you want to protest peacefully, how do you do it? And a lot of people are saying, well, it's a bunch of spoiled rich guys who are taking a knee for injustice, and they can be doing this, that, and the other thing. Originally I was so against this because I didn't understand what it was for. I thought that the whole idea behind this was disrespecting the military. And, it's not. Their idea is that they're standing up for social justice. Are they making a little bit of a spectacle? Sure. But are they doing it in the right way? I think so. And to be honest with you, it doesn't bother me because it doesn't happen during the game. It's something that's before the game. And you know what? If you don't want to watch it, just turn your back on it for when the national anthem is being played and deal with it. If you do want to watch it, you feel that that's the right way, the right way for people to do things, then that's more power to you.
Right. And a lot of people don't respect Colin Kaepernick for what he's doing, but people are starting to talk about it now. Talk about this. What's going on now. He started something.
He did. He did. And
I know you're a big 49ers fan, and he brought your team to the Super Bowl, so you can't hate him that much.
Well, I think Jim Harbaugh brought them to the Super Bowl. He happened to be riding on the wagon.
Well, on another topic, do you have anything to talk about on the field about your 49ers? How great they are?
I don't think there is anything to talk about the 49ers this year.
I picked the 49ers to win this week. I really thought they had the underdog this week.
Yeah. But I told you the 49ers are going to be favored this week against the Giants.
Here's my question for
what's
you.
his name? Jimmy Garoppolo or whatever his last name.
Garoppolo.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
They're not. They said they're not going to start him. They're going to stick with Beathard until they know that Garoppolo is set to start. So, what do you think about that decision? Do you want to see Garoppolo this year? I mean, they have a banged up offensive line.
Yeah, I'm saying it. I don't think it's going to matter whoever they put in because I think they're going to get a good draft pick and then go from there.
Yeah, I think the Niners are set up. They're in a great position right now.
I think so too. I think with Garoppolo as their quarterback, they can go
young
out,
coach, new GM.
Yep. I mean, they're probably going to dump Carlos Hyde. They'll probably get hopefully they can maybe draft a big running back. They bolster that offensive line. They can be a good team next year.
They could be. Well, Ida, thank you.
Hopefully.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for calling in. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks a lot.
All right, so that was successful. We did it this time. All right,
good job, Albert.
We got something.
Nice. This is fun.
That's what I didn't do.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Technical stuff, guys. All right. So anyway, we were on the Jets. We were saying that they looked pretty good. This was a bad loss for Buffalo this week, though.
Yeah. It was a bad loss. But you know what? I think this is just a blip. I think they lost to a team that is playing really good defense right now. They went on the road on a short week. I think it's a bad loss, but they're still a good team.
I don't think Buffalo's a bad team. They're in a good position right now to make the playoffs.
Right. I don't think they're phony or anything. I think they're a good team.
They're in the playoffs as it stands right now.
They're good at home. They have a good defense.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be fine. They lost to a team that is not, what we thought they were going to be. They lost to a division opponent. We know all division games are tough.
Absolutely.
So Buffalo, I think, is fine. But that division, look at it. It's very tight right now.
It's really tight. And, even the Patriots sitting at 6-2 at the top there, they don't look untouchable this year.
Right.
And that's a good thing for the other three teams in this league,
right.
Which we'll get to the other one who played. That's going to be our last game we get to. So the next game we're going to move on to, the Saints beat the Bucs 30-10. The big news coming out of this game is that Jameis Winston is out. Oh, wait, we got another caller. Hold on. We got another caller. Hey, welcome to the opening whistle. What's your name? Where are you from? Hello?
Hi, I have a call.
Yeah, hi. Hi, this is, you're on the opening whistle. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Phil from Springfield. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Phil, how are you? Nice to
Hello.
talk to you.
Good. How's it going?
Going all right. You know, we've got two callers. We got two people listening to the show. We're on fire.
Okay, we're almost there.
Yeah.
I said three, at least three. We're almost there. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about those Giants. What's going on with them this year?
Well,
What happened to them?
well, I mean, look, my opinion, I think, you know, a lot of the Giants fans put a lot of faith in Eli Manning's hands again this year, and Ben McAdoo is obviously not the right choice for head coach. Injuries haven't helped. I think that the Giants, the biggest problem with the Giants is that they were always, hung on their hats on playing good defense, and they have not been playing good defense this year.
And they did not address the offensive line this year.
At all.
You know, they lost Odell. You know, they decimated with injuries.
And Brandon Marshall.
But you know, it doesn't help that their quarterback is old and he's not what he used to be.
I can't disagree with that. I mean, we're going to get to the Giants a little bit later, but I mean, as of right now, my thing is that they're not playing. They're playing worse than their record, and they only have one win. And I think that's a huge. I'm assuming, Philly, you're a Giants fan. So, what do you think that next year is going to be? Like it's something that they want to. You think they should address? Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff they need. They don't have a running game. They don't have. I don't think they have a quarterback anymore. What do they do with this high pick?
Yeah,
I
agree. They got to get rid of those troublemakers on that team. McAdoo has lost control of that team totally.
I completely agree.
Got to start all over again. I think so.
I completely agree. I mean, I think that this is it for McAdoo. I think this is one and done for him.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, I think so.
As long as they're GM too.
So,
all right, great show, guys.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate your call.
I enjoyed talking to you guys.
Thank you.
All right,
thanks a lot.
Have a good.
Thank you.
We got two calls, bro.
Yeah,
we're on
there
fire
we go.
tonight. We're killing it.
Let's go.
So, like we were saying, though, we were talking about the Saints and Bucks. So the big news coming out of this: Jameis Winston is busted up, hurt his shoulder again. And I mean, if the Bucks season wasn't over before this game, it is now.
It's over. Yeah. They first of all, besides for the fact that they went out of control, Mike Evans going crazy. One of the three fights in the NFL yesterday, which turned to WWE yesterday.
Yeah, apparently.
But we thought the Bucks were in trouble, but now it's over.
Yeah.
But like I said, Ryan Fitzpatrick maybe has a chance to save the season for the Bucks, right? Right?
No,
he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't at all. But
even with all those weapons, Jameis Winston wasn't getting it done. Ryan Fitzpatrick's not going to.
But talk about the hot seat. We talked about this on Thursday. Dirk Cutter, their coach, also. You got to be in the hot seat.
Yeah, absolutely.
This team had so much expectations. They have a lot of talent.
The crazy thing is that Jameis Winston's injury might have saved Dirk Cutter's job.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think that they can say, we had problems before, but we could have turned it around.
Maybe. But this is another team that they're falling like the Giants. They can fall 3-13 this year.
I mean, Fitzpatrick came in. He had a Fitzpatrick game, 8 for 15, 68 yards, a touchdown. But I mean, you want to talk about the surprise, and we talked about this last week on the podcast. How about the Saints defense?
Shocking.
Unbelievable.
Shocking.
This team was the worst defensive team that I think we've seen in years, over the past 3 or 4 years. This year they're playing solid defense, and the funny thing is that Drew Brees isn't playing like Drew Brees.
No, and
he's playing
especially at home.
Yeah.
He's not even having his numbers at home this year.
Right. I mean, a decently pedestrian. I mean, a good completion percentage, 22 for 27, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns. But how about Kamara, man? This kid is unbelievable. 6 receptions for 84 yards, 68 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. The kid is on fire.
He's the type of guy that is going to keep Drew Brees around another few years.
Oh, absolutely.
He's that type of guy.
And there's been a lot of trade talk over the past 3 or 4 seasons with Drew Brees. I don't think he's going anywhere.
No.
And with the defense playing this well, I mean, we were never predicting in the beginning of this year, but you look at the Saints, they look like a playoff team.
They drafted well. They got Lattimore, who's looking like a stud.
Yeah.
They're deep. You know what? Drew Brees doesn't have to play like he does Drew Brees like. If their defense plays like this, and they're a legit contender if they play like that defense this year.
The funny thing is that everybody predicted Michael Thomas was going to be the big receiver coming out this year. Ted Ginn Jr. is playing unbelievable. The guy had stone hands for years, and now all of a sudden he's catching everything that comes his way.
They're the epitome. This team is the epitome of what's going on in the NFL this year. Just the shocking things going on. The Giants and the Bucks being bad, and the Rams being good. A lot of surprises this year. This is what's going on in the NFL this year, which is good.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
I mean, you want to talk? Well, just real quick, what's the Saints record now?
Saints are 6-2.
They're 6-2. I mean, they're dominant.
They're flying.
Yeah, they're
right
doing
now.
great.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about surprises? Two teams that I think everybody thought were going to come out this year swinging and were going to be really awesome, and now have pretty much put up a dud. How about the Panthers beating the Falcons 20-17? Man, what is wrong with the Atlanta Falcons this year?
Inconsistent. They're not what they were last year.
They almost didn't beat the Jets.
Right.
You know,
well, Matt Ryan is not even close to what he was last year.
Matt Ryan was lights
Julio
out
Jones
last year.
has not been what he was.
Julio Jones had 118
He did have a
yards
big
yesterday.
game.
He had a
this
big
week,
game.
Finally.
Yeah.
They're just not what they were last year. They changed offensive coordinators, which didn't help.
But the thing is that Matt Ryan, I mean, for statistically, Matt Ryan had another good game. 24 for 38, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns. He looks like the Matt Ryan of old sometimes, but he's just not playing consistent
But their
enough.
problem, they couldn't stop the run this week.
Yep, and
McCaffrey and Stewart
and John Stewart,
yeah, and Cam Newton. Cam Newton ran for 80-something yards.
Cam Newton was.
Did you see his touchdown run? Where he just dove
just
into the end zone?
drove it. He
like
reached the ball over. I mean, and bounced it off a helmet. I mean,
that's
Cam
Newton.
Crazy.
That's Cam Newton for you.
I mean, Cam was 13 for 24, 137 yards. He had that big rushing touchdown. But you talk about the running game. McCaffrey had 66 yards and a touchdown. And we had a lot of concerns. There was a big trade last week. All of a sudden, this team loses their number one wide receiver. And, Devin Funchess stepped up, a respectable 86-yard game. But,
and Greg Olson's coming back soon, in a few weeks against the Jets. I think he's coming back in 2 weeks against the Jets.
Of course he's going to come back against the Jets.
But you know what? The Jets are looking good, all right? That's not a game for the Falcons. That's for the Panthers.
No. By no stretch of the imagination of the Jets, a steamroll team, which is great.
Right.
But by that same point, you look at the Panthers now. Are they starting to get back into that conversation? What are they 6-3 right now?
The Panthers, 6-3. Shocking too. Where did that come from?
We said this last week. They don't feel like a 6-3.
It's like
team.
the Dolphins. Dolphins are 4-4. Where did they get 4 wins from?
Yeah,
how did that happen?
How did Jay Cutler get 4 wins this year?
I don't know.
I don't know.
How did that happen? I do not know. Listen, he's earning that $10 million. Let me tell you.
Well, we'll get to them a little bit later, but that's crazy.
But Atlanta's falling right now. Atlanta's going down. Carolina's going up.
And that division is so winnable for any team
except
right
Tampa.
Except for Tampa.
Yeah.
But I mean the Saints are playing.
The Falcons are not looking good though.
The Falcons aren't looking good.
Right.
But Carolina getting that win. The Saints are still looking good. I mean it's still open. I mean Atlanta's 4-4.
It's going to come down to the end of the year.
Absolutely.
The last game.
And it's going to come down to a lot of different things, a lot of big things, which always comes down to these divisional games. And that's why this loss was so big for Atlanta. They lost another divisional game.
Yeah, big loss.
So we just kind of covered a little bit about the Giants, but 51-17. Look, I'm gonna put it out here right now. Avi is a Cowboys fan. I'm a Jets fan. We both kind of enjoy watching the Giants lose. But that was an embarrassment. They got smoked, and by no stretch of the imagination are the Rams not a good team.
No,
the Rams have shown up this year. They've been a good team, but man, how do you
the Giants?
let that get
This
out of
game
their
is just
hand?
the Giants are bad. We know the Rams are a good team. We know they're good. We know they have a good offense. We know that they're, they have a good young team.
Yeah.
But the Giants are just really bad.
They are.
But you know what? The Rams took care of business, which they should have. That's what good teams do. They take care of business, especially against the bad teams. They beat them up.
They did.
And it was hilarious.
How about Jared Goff threw 22 passes? That's it. 14 for 22. 311 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's an insane stat line.
Right. But he did it against the Giants. Right. But you know what? He's having a great year.
He is.
And he has Todd Gurley in the backfield. He's got good receivers.
Gurley was 59 yards for 2 touchdowns, another 2 touchdowns. Robert Woods, 70 yards for 2 touchdowns. Sammy Watkins had 67 yards and a touchdown.
I cannot believe that they're 6-2, the Rams.
I am
They
surprised.
legit can win 12 games this year.
I agree. Oh, look at that! I'm just looking up now. Detroit's in the red zone again. It's pretty big. This is a really big game here too.
Right, for Detroit.
For Detroit. Oh wait, who was that? Was that Riddick? No, that was Abdullah almost getting in there. This is gonna be a fun game. This would have been such a great game if Aaron Rodgers was playing.
Yeah, it would have been.
But unfortunately, we don't get that.
Yeah.
And then the Giants. Eli, 20 for 36, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. Do they have? What do you do if you're the New York Giants right now? Because I kind of alluded to this a little bit. You're the Giants GM. What do you do with the first pick in the draft next year? Because you're on. Look at it.
Top 3.
Look at it.
Top 3
They're
for sure.
top 3. 100%. I think the 49ers win a game. I think the Browns might even win a game. I don't even know if the Giants win another game.
The Giants. Davis Webb is not the guy. We spoke about this. He's not the guy.
No, not at all.
He's not the guy. Okay? they have to move on from Eli. They have to draft a quarterback. It's not even a question. Listen, I understand people saying, "Oh, you cannot sit Eli this week for the rest of the year." He's earned enough, respect. It's his team. You know what? Fine. I want to see how this guy's going to do, Davis Webb. He's not the future. We know that.
Right.
Let Eli play. Let him get beat up a little more. Let them lose more games. That's fine. That's fine for me.
I know
but
it is.
They need to draft a quarterback. It's time to move on. Look what the Cowboys did. They saw Tony Romo. Tony Romo was was declining a little bit. He was still good, but he was always hurt.
Right.
And they got lucky by drafting Prescott, and look what he turned into.
Kid's on fire.
But do you agree it's time to move on from Eli? It's time. He's not good anymore. Even with Odell, Odell can make him look good. He's not good anymore. He's old. He's washed up.
The old saying from Giants fans used to be, "You can't spell elite without Eli."
He was never elite.
But Eli is
garbage.
far from elite right now.
Oh my God.
And the Giants are in a lot of trouble. Ben
Yeah.
McAdoo needs to go. There's a lot that need to happen.
Yeah.
So we'll move on. We have the Titans, the 23, the Ravens 20. We both picked the Titans this week. Now, I know that if you guys have listened to the podcast with Avi and I, last year I was a huge proponent. I said that the Titans were going to have a monster week this week. Monster year this year. I said that Marcus Mariota was going to be the quarterback to watch this year. Hasn't really played out that way, but quietly the Titans are putting together a pretty tidy season.
They're playing well, and this is what they have a lot of talent.
They do.
But that division is so winnable.
Absolutely, and they're leading the division right now. Were they 5-3?
It's going to come down. Yeah, they're 5-3. It's going to come down to them in Jacksonville. At the end of the year. Jacksonville's legit, but the Titans, I think, are looking pretty good. Even make a wild card. They're looking pretty good right now. They just got to keep racking up some wins, and Mariota's got to play well. Yeah, the running game's got to get going.
I mean, Mariota was 19 for 28, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, respectable. Rashard Matthews had 70 yards for a touchdown. So but
they're another team. They have to win games that they should. These are games that they should win.
I agree.
The Ravens are a good team, but on the road they're not. They're not that. On the road they're a different team than they are at home. The Ravens are. 1 week they can be great. Their defense, 1 week not. But we both said the Titans. This should be an easy win for them, and they won the game.
Right. I mean, and look, the Ravens aren't terrible, but we talked about Joe Flacco all the time. 34 for 52, 261 yards, a touchdown. Buck Allen's playing really well. He had 21 rushing yards, but 44 receiving yards and a touchdown. They have talent on that team. It's just that Joe Flacco is just not that guy.
Right. But if he didn't win a Super Bowl for this team, would he still be around?
No, he'd be gone.
He'd be gone, and I don't know how much he's on a huge contract. I don't
he
know
did.
How much longer he has on
the
that
Super
deal.
Bowl, I'm assuming
they're another team that should be looking for a quarterback.
Absolutely,
in the future.
Absolutely. At least drafting somebody. I mean, if you want to start Flacco next year, fine. But Amir Abdullah with a touchdown.
There you go.
I picked the Lions in this game.
I'm not giving up on the Packers,
but I don't like the Aaron Rodgers-less Packers, and
Right.
Brent
Hundley's going to break a big touchdown run. He's going to have a big touchdown run.
Look, for the Packers fans, I hope so. Give them something to hold on to.
It's not looking good.
Well, I said that they had to get off to a hot start, and this is not the hot start for them.
But you know what? This is another game. The Lions for Stafford. This is a game they should win. Rodgers. They have to win this game.
This is the Lions season right here.
Right. Exactly.
So
this is a big
yeah. So I think we're both in agreement. The Titans can absolutely win this division.
Absolutely. It's going to come down to them and the Jaguars. But, yeah, if I had to pick a favorite, they would be a slight edge over the Jaguars right now.
Well, let's talk about the Jaguars. They won last night 23-7. The big news coming out of this game, me and you are both had Leonard Fournette in different leagues. And at 11:30, I'm sitting there on my bed just watching some fantasy talk show and just getting ready. And all of a sudden, I get this little notification. Leonard Fournette not playing, violating a team rule. He's on a 1-game suspension, will not play. First of all, I had to scramble to the waiver wire, pick up TJ Yeldon, who did nothing. We'll get to that in a little bit. But so he broke my fantasy team this week, along with some other major injuries and stuff that kind of hurt me.
Clearly, they did that on purpose to just screw us.
I think they did. And that hurt. But I actually not just taking away from the fact that this was screwed my fantasy team over. The thing that I pulled away from this was that I was like, this game might be in jeopardy. I know the Bengals aren't a good team, but Fournette is by and far the Jaguars' best player. Blake Bortles is an awful quarterback. I don't know how he seems to have put together good games every once in a while.
He has so much talent around him.
He really does.
Even
without Allen Robinson, he does.
I'm thinking about him back and forth. He has so much talent around him. But if he just doesn't make horrible mistakes, this team is solid. He just has to be decent.
We saw
they have a great defense.
They do.
Year.
Now they we had Marquise Lee. He had 75 yards and a touchdown. Chris Ivory had 70 yards. Yeldon had 41, and he had the fumble early on. But Bortles was 24 for 38, 259 yards with a touchdown. You know, he's got talent around him. Allen Hurns is doing nothing this year, and all of a sudden, you know, and they had that new receiver who was supposed to come in and play this week. I can't remember.
D.D. Westbrook.
That's
their
it.
first pick this year.
Yeah, and he really didn't have much of an impact on the game.
No, he didn't play.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah,
well, that's probably why I didn't see it.
He was inactive. Yeah, I had him. Yeah, I had him, but he was inactive. They were going to play him, but no.
So I mean, you know, they're looking. You know, he doesn't have a lot of talent, you know, but he's got Leonard Fournette. When you have a monster stud running back like that, you can get away with. Look at Dak Prescott in Dallas. Dak Prescott wasn't the greatest quarterback in the world. He was a good game manager in the beginning of the season, and Zeke ran over people. Then Dak started.
Let's not compare Blake Bortles.
All I'm saying is that Dak then picked it up and became a
Right.
better quarterback.
Right.
Blake Bortles hasn't shown me that yet.
Right. No, I agree with you. Blake Bortles, and you know this guy third pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Did they trade up for him? I don't remember. Third pick
I
in the
don't
draft.
remember.
But you know what? Look at them. They're 5-3 now. So
Yeah.
clearly they're not going to bench him.
No,
they're winning
why-
games.
They were going to trade for Eli.
Right.
They would talk to me to trade for Eli. They would
Right.
talk like they were going to sign Kaepernick.
They're going to trade for a worse quarterback. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so look, and you know the other thing is that you know let's look. I mean, the Bengals. You know, Andy Dalton 10 for 1,839 yards, a crap game again. Joe Mixon had a touchdown, 31 yards. The Bengals needed a complete overhaul.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's got to go.
It's time. I think it's time.
And you say this every week that somebody in that organization still has a job.
Yeah, Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis still has a job. I should be the coach of that team and probably be doing
I don't
a better
know what
job.
that guy. I don't know what that guy has on the owner or
Marvin
the GM
Jones,
or something.
I think Marvin Jones walked in on the owner banging somebody else because that's the only way this guy has a job. I'm sorry.
I don't get it. I don't know. I do not know.
He's never made it past the first round playoff game.
No.
Andy Dalton has never.
It's
proven to be
unbelievable.
elite.
Yeah.
I don't get why Marvin Jones still has a job, and you say this every time we talk about the Bengals. And I wanted to make it so that you were the one who said it because that's all you. But I just don't understand how Marvin Jones still has a job.
He's got something on the owner, or he's got something.
I don't know what it is, but all I can say is that the Bengals are again in trouble again this year.
Yeah.
They don't look like they're gonna make the playoffs this year. Next year, there's got to be some major changes, or else if you're in Cincinnati, I'd be screaming at the ownership now because why am I going to show up to watch games when I know I'm just going to see a pedestrian mediocre team?
Maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year they get rid of him. But if they don't get rid of him this year, I just don't know anymore. They're just irrelevant.
They are. That's exactly what they are. They're irrelevant. Again this year, they're irrelevant.
I just want to say if you want to call.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Guys,
I got it. 609-910-0687. Give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call. We had two great calls so far. Give us another one. Talk to us.
Give us a call. Talk to us about what's on your mind. Come on.
Yeah. Let's move on. We got this was. I mean, we both predicted this was going to happen, and we're going to get it. You know, we can get into a little bit about this now, and probably a little bit later when we talk about the Cowboys. The Eagles trouncing the Broncos, 59-23. Carson Wentz, 15 for 27, 199 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jay Ajayi, his debut, 77 yards, ripped a long 40-plus yard touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey had 2 touchdowns, had 84 yards. Their third-string running back, Clement, had friggin' 51 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, realistically, I know you're a Cowboys fan. Is anybody stopping the Eagles this year?
Yes, the Cowboys. But wait, we're going to see. They're playing them in 2 weeks. All right, let's pump the brakes. I mean, yes, Carson Wentz has been great. But you know what? He hasn't played the greatest teams. He played the Niners. And listen, the Broncos' defense is not as good as advertised.
It's not the vaunted Broncos defense.
And their
anymore.
offense is nothing right now. You know, they don't have a quarterback.
Look,
but their defense is not as good as people put them out to be. They were the number 1 defense, I think, coming into the year. Ranked defense. They're not as good.
Well, them and the Patriots were both ranked pretty high, and we can obviously see the way the Patriots.
Wentz is playing great, but you know what? Let's see how he does. You know what? He hasn't. What's their signature win this year? The Eagles. Who they beat? They won in Carolina. That was a good win.
That was a big win.
They won the first week in Washington.
Right.
But you know what? They haven't played Dallas yet, and this is going to be the teams that are going to come down to the end. We'll see. Let's see how he does it against Dallas.
I agree,
but he's very good. I know that
he's turning out to be this is one of those.
But don't you dare say he's better than Dak, because I will not take that.
I'm not going to get in that argument with you because I know that there goes the rest of our show. I think that I will say this. I think they're comparable. I think they are comparable.
No, they're very good.
And they're
stacked.
Both young.
They're stacked.
They're
on
both,
offense. The Eagles they are. I'll admit it. They are.
And
Alshon Jeffrey's coming out. He's coming out party finally.
It's about time,
right?
The poor guy's been stuck in mediocrity his entire career.
Yeah.
Man, I can't help but feel bad for the Broncos, though.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, they start Brock Osweiler, who, I mean, he's 19 for 38, 208 yards, a touchdown, played like crap. Demaryius Thomas finally broke out of his streak. He finally got a touchdown, went for 70 yards. But, I mean, Trevor Siemian, Brock Osweiler, does it really make a difference when their calling card for the past few seasons has been their defense, and their defense is playing atrocious?
Yeah, they've been really bad. Another thing, a quarterback issue. They're a quarterback away from being a really good team, a decent quarterback away from being a really good team.
I mean, if you're a Broncos fan, do you want to see them tank this season, lose the rest of the games, get a high draft pick?
I don't know. It's
Have
tough
they
for
already
them.
won too many games?
They're 3-5.
So it's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but they're in need of another team in need of a quarterback, and they should go after one. Simeon's not the guy.
No, he's not.
He's not the guy. He's been good. He's been better than you think. He's a 6th-round pick. He's been better than
Absolutely.
people think. You know?
He would be a very successful NFL backup quarterback.
Absolutely.
100%.
I agree.
We're going to talk about another guy.
He's done enough. For
Yeah,
that.
we're going to talk about another guy who I feel that, in a couple minutes that has that same problem right now. But, my big thing about the Broncos is if they don't, I mean, all right. So Denver expects their teams to be good. It's one of the same thing with the Giants, which is why it's a tough pill to swallow that the Giants are playing so well. New York always expects their team to play well. If you're Denver right now, you've got to think that you got to have a major overhaul on this team and really try to figure out something. They got to spend a lot of money next year.
Well, yeah. After Peyton Manning. It all went, I think, downhill. They just couldn't figure out. You know what? And I blame John Elway for that. To get the quarterback situation right.
Elway's made a lot of good moves, but this isn't
right.
This is where he's faltering right now. This is hurting them. He brought in Tebow. Everybody thought he was going to be the next big guy, and then they didn't. Re-sign him.
They won a lot of games with Tebow.
Right.
They won a playoff game with him, but he wasn't the guy. They haven't had their future quarterback. They haven't drafted the guy.
Nope.
Peyton Manning was just going to be there for 2 years, 3 years, and he won a Super Bowl. They got trounced in one Super Bowl, and then they won one, not because of Peyton. Because of their defense.
Because of their defense, but then he went out on top, and that's
right.
And you had to know if you're John Elway at that point. Crap! If I win the Super Bowl this year, this is absolutely Peyton Manning's last year. Why did they not go out and draft a good quarterback, or at least try to figure something out?
Right. Well, you think about it. After John Elway, who has been their quarterback? Jake Plummer. Who's been their quarterback? They haven't had that John Elway type guy. Peyton Manning has been,
That's it.
But older in his career, he had a great defense. He had that one unbelievable season where he threw 50,000 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But then he just went downhill after that. And then, you got to address the quarterback issue there. It's time this year also to do that because they're a quarterback away from being a contender, I think.
I agree.
But that defense
and their defense
also
has to start playing better.
They do. But I think I don't know if they are giving up or their defense is not as good as we think they are.
They're
not.
Maybe that's
Von Miller. Maybe Von Miller just
Maybe he's getting old. He's getting older.
Yeah.
Their defense in itself, that whole entire defense is getting older.
Right. Someone's got to give it that team.
And now we talked about. Actually, you know what? We'll circle back around. I'll talk about that in a little bit. The next game we're going to go over is the Colts 20, the Titans 14. You didn't even want to pick a team to win this game.
Do we even have to talk about this?
Is it relevant?
It did come down to the end. The Texans had a chance to win. Tom Savage had a chance, but he blew it.
Because he's not an NFL quarterback.
Right.
How about Jacoby? The one thing I do want to talk about is Jacoby Brissett. 20 for 30, 308 yards,
right.
2 touchdowns. T.Y. Hilton in a monster game.
Finally.
5 catches, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns. My big thing is this. All right, so we know that Jacoby Brissett had a skill set when he played in New England. And a lot of people always talk about New England quarterbacks, and we're going to get to this in our next game too. But talk about backup quarterbacks for New England. How they're learning under a great organization, but is it the organization that makes the quarterback or the quarterback that makes the organization? I think that Brissett is at least making a little bit of a statement that he is maybe just talented enough that that the organization helped him out. I think this is really showing to me that the organization made Tom Brady.
But right. But you're saying another guy, Jacoby Brissett, he's another guy who'd be a great backup because Andrew Luck is their franchise.
Absolutely.
Even though he's not going to play this year. But Jacoby Brissett, this is maybe, I don't know if he's a free agent next year. I don't know what they're going to do with him.
I'm sure he probably will be.
He's going to get offers.
He can get a starting job
Absolutely.
somewhere.
I think he's done a lot. He's done a lot.
Yeah, the kid's got good legs. He's got good wheels underneath him. He can move.
Right. And he came from the Patriots.
He came from a Patriots organization. You come from a winner,
right?
And that helps. You say that all the time about guys coming out of college. He was a winner in college. You say that all the time, and I believe in that.
Yeah. No, it's true.
And you know what? Brissett grew into an organization where he came from being a winner.
And usually, and also I don't know if he was a 4-year starter. I don't know if he was, but usually a guy that comes out played 4 years, 4-year starter, 3-year starter, at least it helps the experience. And if you have that winning mentality, if you win in college, I really believe it translates to the NFL.
And at the very least, he won. I mean, he was at one point a starting quarterback on the team that won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yes, I know Brady won the majority of the games. I know Brissett only played in 2. 1 or 2, whatever it wound up being. He wound up getting hurt a little bit at the end of his run, but he started a couple of games for the team that won the Super Bowl. I mean, that automatically puts you in a different into another category. I think Jacoby Brissett's doing an admirable job for a Colts team that nobody thought was going to be successful once Andrew Luck went down with injury.
Yeah. Speaking of Andrew Luck, what's going on with him?
He's out for the season.
I know, but what's going on with that guy? I don't know. He's just been hurt. It seems like he's been out for like 2 years, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a shame. I feel bad for Colts fans because I feel like the Colts have always been on the cusp of being a really good team, and they can never seem to get it together enough.
But you know what? Andrew Luck never had the offensive line. He got beat up. He gets beat up a lot.
Agreed.
And he makes up for a lot of that. But he's a guy. We don't know what's going to go on with Andrew Luck. You think he's a franchise. He is a franchise quarterback, but is he a winner? We don't know if he. You thought his first year. They think they won the first playoff game, and then they made it to the second round. Then they made it to the championship game. You thought that he was going to get to the Super Bowl by now, right?
Yeah.
At least get to the Super Bowl.
I think everybody did. Oh, wait, hold on, Avi. We got another call. Look at us doing some good. Hey, caller, what's going on? You're on the opening whistle. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Yeah, turn your radio down. You're listening to us like in backswing. Hello? Oh, no, he's gone.
Oh, well. All right.
Obviously, they didn't want to talk to us that much. You would have thought that at this point that Andrew Luck would have absolutely been to a Super Bowl. And it's kind of a shame that the Colts organization just at this point has fallen apart without him. But he also always had a bunch of really good weapons.
Yeah.
And,
they have invested, again, they haven't invested like the Giants. They haven't invested in the offensive line.
Exactly.
And that you need offensive line. He's gotten beat up his whole career.
Absolutely. The guy can't. How much more are you going to sustain that?
He's really talented. He's clearly a leader.
He is.
Right from his rookie year.
We're at the half. I think they might have kicked a field goal. I got to see what the score is. I think that might be 14-3. But I mean, that's it's just a shame. And the Texans, man, last week was just. I mean, it's just a killer, man. It was just a killer. Deshaun Watson goes down. Tom Savage steps in. 19 for 44. I mean, that's just an awful line right there. 219 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins went 6 for 86 with a touchdown. So, I mean, he's got weapons around him. Will Fuller still, is super talented. DeAndre Hopkins is super talented. But without Deshaun Watson, I mean, if you're the Texans, do you even want to see them try to play somebody else?
They should tank.
They picked up. Who did they pick up?
Quarterback?
Yeah.
Who'd they pick up?
I don't remember.
T.J. Yates is their backup, I think.
Is he? I thought they picked up somebody else. Maybe I'm
Possible.
wrong.
It is 14-3, by the way.
It is 14-3.
So, okay. We got a game.
Kind of.
We'll see.
If Aaron Rodgers was in, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to keep harping on that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I just feel bad for, J.J. Watt can't stay on the field. Deshaun Watson gets hurt. I mean, it's a shame for a team that was looking like they were looking like nothing in the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden, man, this is just the Cinderella story of Deshaun Watson coming in and looking like he was going to be really good, and then
it is a shame, especially J.J. Watt going down. Seems like he's getting hurt. He gets hurt every year.
Yeah,
J.J. Watt, and they're a team also with great defense. Every year you think that they have one of the best defenses in the league, and Deshaun Watson. That's exactly what they needed. Just finally, they got their quarterback.
Yeah,
and then it all,
and it's just such a shame. It's the same thing as we compared this to Teddy Bridgewater too.
Yeah,
a non-contact practice injury, man, and it's such a shame for a guy who was playing.
And who
so
knows
well.
if he's going to be back? Is he going to be back for the first game next year?
I
we
hope
don't know.
So.
We don't know.
For Houston, I mean, I feel bad for them. I hope
I do.
He is.
I do feel bad for them.
Moving on, we got the Cardinals beat the 49ers 20-10.
Another great. What a great game.
Well, look, I'm gonna talk a little bit. We'll talk about the Cardinals in a couple of seconds. I want to start off with the 49ers. C.J. Beathard, 24 for 51, 294 yards, a rushing touchdown. Carlos Hyde had 41 yards, a receiving touchdown. He had 84. He had 41 yards rushing. He had 84 receiving yards. Look, here's my thing about about the 49ers. I actually predicted them to get a win this week. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. They have a chance next week. They're playing against another abysmal team.
Yeah.
C.J. Beathard would be an awesome backup quarterback in the NFL. That's who he is. It's the same things we talked about with Trevor Siemian.
Right.
But
or Matt Moore. Like Matt Moore type.
absolutely, C.J. Beathard earned my respect this week because C.J. Beathard
He's
got
playing hard.
beat up
Yeah.
this week. Beat the living crap kicked
And
out
you
of
were
him.
right. You spoke about it on Thursday. You said that, this guy's playing, even though he knows he's not going to be the future of this team, he's playing hard. You're right.
He is.
You are right.
There was no reason for C.J. Beathard to take the abuse that he did, knowing that the 49ers got Jimmy Garoppolo, knowing that they went out and said, hey, by the way, Jimmy Garoppolo, we got him to be the future of our team. And now here it's C.J. Beathard going out there, getting the crap kicked out of him, and just playing. He's tough as nails. And he gained my respect.
He's done enough. He's done enough. He's playing hard. Look at. I just want to run through the Niners' schedule this year. They haven't been blown out this year.
No,
if I can remember, maybe
once.
one game they got blown out.
Yeah, one game they got blown out.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, so they lost. Okay, the first week they got blown out to the Panthers, 23-3, 12-9 at Seattle. All right, 41-39 to the Rams. They lost in overtime. I think it was, remember, the last second field goal to the Cardinals.
Yep.
Last second field goal, overtime. Lost in overtime the week after to the Colts on a field goal. Then the Redskins, 26-24 at Washington. Look at all these games. Then the Cowboys, destroyed them, and the Eagles destroyed them. But they've been competitive.
In the majority
They've
of their
looked
games,
better than the Giants this year.
in the
my
majority of their
opinion.
games, C.J. Beathard has been competitive.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about. I don't know.
I respect for that guy. Respect.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Cardinals.
AP.
How about it?
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson, 159
Good for
yards
him.
rushing.
Good for him, because I knew he was not done. I didn't believe
I
it.
had no question about it that he wasn't done.
Yeah.
And I felt
he just was not in the right situation.
no,
They didn't-
absolutely not. And if you're the Saints right now, are you kicking yourselves?
No,
I mean,
no.
'cause, I
You
mean,
got
Kamara's playing well. Ingram's playing well.
It just wasn't working.
I mean, whatever
It was a
they,
mistake.
I don't even remember what they got for him, but whatever they got for
Draft
him,
pick. I think they got a draft pick.
and it was probably better off because he wasn't
Yeah.
going to fit into that offensive scheme.
Right. You know what? I'm happy to see him do well because he's still a starting running back in this league, and he's better, and he's a hell of a lot better than a lot of starting running backs in this league
I
right now.
completely
I still
agree.
take him any day. That he's a beast. He's always been a beast.
Drew Stanton gets a win, 15 for 30. He completed 50% of his passes, 201 yards, 2 touchdowns. Larry Fitzgerald was 5 for 70 yards.
Drew Stanton he's like one of those guys. He's been around forever, like a Matt Moore type. Just a back.
Here's my thing. The Cardinals always look. Carson Palmer is injury prone. He's older. He's not going to be around forever. Why have the Cardinals? The Cardinals know that Drew Stanton's not the case, but they keep signing this guy as to being their backup quarterback. I feel like every other year he's playing because Palmer gets hurt and he never plays well.
I think people undervalue the value of a backup quarterback.
Absolutely,
They really do. You need a backup in this league.
In this league, you do. Look at what we're looking at right now. Brett Hundley is playing for the
Packers.
For the Packers. I mean, look, maybe he actually does have talent. Maybe he's good. We haven't seen enough of him.
But he's keeping them competitive.
He's been competitive. But I mean, when you see a major quarterback go down, we saw it in Minnesota. Look at how great it's been. I mean, Bridgewater
Keenum.
went down.
Yeah.
Then they went out.
Bradford.
They got Sam Bradford. He went down, and Case Keenum is playing well.
And they're 6-2.
Exactly. The position of a backup quarterback is so much bigger than a lot of people think.
These guys are just in there to manage the game. Just try. If you have a good defense, it helps. Like Minnesota,
Yeah.
It helps Case Keenum out a lot.
Agreed.
But you know what? They're just they're waiting for Bridgewater to come back. This team, they're not going to win a Super Bowl with Case Keenum.
No.
They're not winning a Super Bowl.
No.
But they can make the playoffs.
Absolutely.
They can win the division. But when it comes playoff time, you need the experienced guy. You need the
Teddy B might be back for playoff time. That
Right.
might be a
Not that-
huge shot in the arm for them.
right. I agree, but Teddy Bridgewater also. I don't know if Teddy Bridgewater is a Super Bowl quarterback. They're another team they're that team that hasn't had a quarterback also in a while.
I've always been a big Bridgewater
to
fan.
win a Super Bowl, you need a great quarterback.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Well, tell me the last quarterback.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco, fine, great defense.
Yep.
Another team, but you know what? You have the Roethlisberger.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, fine.
Even more recent.
That's just Peyton Manning. That was right.
Trent Dilfer.
But think about how many.
It can be done.
Think about how many different quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl since 2000. Different quarterbacks. Think about it.
It's been Roethlisberger,
two.
Brady.
Brady has 5.
Yeah.
Brady has 5. Roethlisberger 2. That's 7. Eli has 2.
Yep.
That's 9. Who else?
Aaron Rodgers, right?
Aaron Rodgers has 1.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning has 2. That's 11. Think about it. Only like 6, 7 different quarterbacks have won in the last 15 years.
Look, I'm not disagreeing.
20
I'm
years.
saying it can be done. I don't know if the Vikings have the defense to do it, but I'd like to, look, I'd like to think that maybe with Bridgewater coming back, that might give him a shot in the arm.
Listen, I hope so. They're a really good team. You know what? And they, that loss, I think it killed them. That loss a few years ago in the playoff game to Seattle, that missed field goal.
It did.
But they're a team also great defense. They're just a quarterback away. We'll see. Bridgewater is better than Case Keenum.
Right.
So.
All right, well, we got 10 minutes left. We got 3 games to go by. We're gonna do one out of order because I know I want to end with a certain game, and I know you know what game I'm talking about. Real quick, how about the Redskins getting a big win over the Seahawks this week? 17-14. Kirk Cousins goes 21 for 31, 249 yards. Rob Kelly has 2 touchdowns. Russell Wilson has another good game. 24 for 45, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, 77 rushing yards. Vernon Davis had 6 catches for 72 yards. Doug Baldwin had 108 yards and a touchdown.
They just shock. More about the Redskins. They just shock me how they did this. It's funny. I heard today somebody brought up in one of the talk shows saying Kirk Cousins won in Seattle. You know who hasn't won in Seattle? Ben Roethlisberger hasn't won in his career in Seattle.
Yep.
Tom Brady hasn't won in Seattle.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers has. I don't know if he's won in Seattle.
Might not have.
But Kirk Cousins, that's not easy to do.
Look, there's no doubt right now that the Seahawks aren't the elite Seahawks that we've known for a couple of years.
No.
Russell Wilson is playing amazing.
He is.
Doug Baldwin's playing
Another
amazing. Their offensive line is trash.
Trash.
And their defense is, Richard Sherman's getting beat almost every week.
Yeah. He's not the same player.
He's not the same player anymore. I mean, he reminds me of where Darrell Revis was.
The Legion of Boom is not the Legion of Boom anymore.
And not anymore.
Yeah.
But
still, for Kirk Cousins to, it's just like, 1 week it's like, okay, we give this guy the franchise tag. We're not signing this guy long term. And then he beats Seattle, and you're like, okay, we got to give this guy a long term contract. When is it going to be? When are they going to make the decision on him?
How
time. They can't. I don't think they can extend him now.
How do you make a decision on a guy who's been playing as inconsistent as he has?
That's true, but you know what? He's good enough. They have to lock him up already. What are they going to do with?
They have to either A, lock him up, or B, trade him out.
He's very good. He's good enough. He's very good to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
100%.
But he's not going to win the Super Bowl for you. I don't think he's that guy.
I mean, unless he has the right.
It's tough. But you know what? If
he's got the right defense, maybe. If he's got a good offensive line, maybe. If he's got a good running game, he's got to have a lot of supporting pieces. And that's what I've been talking about this whole time when we talk about not having an elite quarterback win the Super Bowl. Those quarterbacks who we talk about that didn't have that weren't elite had great running games, they had a good offensive line, and they had a great defense. So that's what you need. You need all those ingredients to win without that one position.
In Washington, that's a huge win for them. They could
Absolutely.
have dropped to 3-5. They're 4-4 right now. They're in it also.
They're in the hunt. Look, I don't know. We talk about the Eagles. We're going to talk about the Cowboys in a little bit. But they're keeping pace. At the very least, they're keeping pace.
They're in it. But like I said, Kirk Cousins to me is an 8-8, 9-7 quarterback. He'll always be that. But I think listen, I don't feel bad for the guy. He's making $23 million this year.
But think about it this way: not only did they go into Seattle and win, they went into Seattle winning without having Jamison Crowder, who was last week. Finally, they gave him the ball and made him their number one guy. Without having their starting tight end Jordan Reed, they went out with missing a lot of big pieces from their offense, and they still put together a win.
The whole offensive line was out. I think.
Yeah,
their whole offensive line was out.
Yeah,
and I think their backup. I think their backup offensive line that was playing is better than the Giants' offensive line that was playing.
They might be better.
Backups.
They might be better
than
the 49ers offensive line too.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do the Monday night game real quick.
Yeah.
Raiders 27,
Sunday
Dolphins 24. I'm sorry, Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Derek Carr, another decent game, 300 yards, a touchdown. Marshawn Lynch had his best game since he played the Jets.
That was beast mode last night.
57 yards for 2 touchdowns. How about Jared Cook? 8 catches for 126 yards.
By the way, what's up with Amari Cooper? Dropping balls left and right.
Amari Cooper is not the
He
Amari
leads the
Cooper
league in drop balls. It's unbelievable.
Amari Cooper is not the elite receiver. They had Cooper, they had Crabtree. Now Cook.
He's
is
a liability
coming along.
now.
I mean, he is. It's not looking good for them. And Derek Carr broke his back and is coming out and playing.
Awesome.
I'm going to say
love
this
Derek Carr.
every week. Derek Carr is an inspiration. The guy broke his back. He came out and he keeps winning.
He's awesome. I love the guy.
The guy keeps winning. There's no reason. This team should not be where they are right now.
Another team, like we said, the NFL this year. Look at the NFL. Look at the Oakland Raiders. We thought they were going to be a 11-win team, 12-win team maybe.
Yeah.
But look at them. But again, they're a team that's not out of it yet. That was a big win for them. They're not out of it yet. I'm not counting them out. But, they got to – I don't know what's going on then. They got to start playing – they beat a team that they should have beat. They beat a quarterback that they should have beat.
Absolutely.
Even though Jay Cutler played better than –
Well, we'll get to them in a second. Yeah.
But they're a team – another team that, should win these games against, like I said on Thursday, Derek Carr or Jay Cutler. Derek Carr, you take any day of the week in a game. And they won.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
But they didn't win decisively. But in in the Dolphins' defense, Jay Cutler was 34 for 42, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns. Julius Thomas had 6 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown. I mean, look, I'm a Jets fan, so I see Miami all the time. No Jay Ajayi. Devontae Parker did okay in relief. What do you? If you're a Dolphins fan, Jarvis Landry, barely had a lot of impact in this game. What do you look forward to right now? Jay Cutler playing halfway decent football one week, and then the week after,
right?
He's gonna suck again.
Listen, they had a lot of. I mean, going into the year around Jay Cutler, they had a lot of talent. The receiving core, the running back. But
Kenny Stills, Jarvis Landry, they have the weapons. But I mean, look, I just never. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm a Jets fan and I just don't like the Dolphins. But I never see the Dolphins as a credible threat.
No, another team that needs a quarterback for the future. Another team that hasn't had that quarterback forever.
Absolutely,
another team.
Absolutely. We a lot of people talk about Buffalo in that division too, not having one. I think they found it in Tyrod Taylor.
Even Ryan Tannehill going down, but he wasn't. Great.
But Tannehill at least was respectable. They're not going to win with Jay Cutler. They're not going to win with Matt Moore. They might not even win with Tannehill. That's turning out to be one of the toughest divisions in football right now because the Patriots are always good. The Bills are good. The Jets don't suck.
Yeah.
It's a tough division. They need to toughen up.
Right. No, I agree.
And let's talk about which really was the game of the week. Everybody was talking about it. I know you got a smile on your face right now. Cowboys 28, Chiefs 17. I'm going to run through the stats real quick and then we'll get into it. Dak Prescott 21 for 33, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Zeke had a Zeke game, 93 yards and a touchdown. Terrence Williams went 9 for 141 yards. Dez had a Dez game, 6 for 73.
And then he got hurt.
We'll get into that in a couple of seconds. On the other end of the ball, Alex Smith, another good Alex Smith game. 25 for 34, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns. Led the team in rushing with 37 yards. Hunt, I think, only had 34.
But he did throw an interception, his first one this year.
Yeah, we're going to get into that
Cowboys.
Too. Travis Kelce had 7 catches for 73 yards. Tyreek Hill had 2 catches for a big touchdown.
What the hell was that?
I'm sorry. That was one of the greatest touchdowns I've ever seen.
Okay, was that more bad defense or was that Tyreek Hill being awesome?
I think it's both.
It was both.
Tyreek Hill is a beast. That kid is so talented. He's so fast.
I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before.
Literally, I like the announcers were saying we've never seen this before.
It's ridiculous. First of all, he had the whole field. They gave it to him at the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
He had and there was like 8 guys in front of him. And how did not tackle him?
I feel like they were just standing around like, wait, you're going to tackle him? No, you're going to tackle him. No, wait, that guy's going to tackle him. I don't have to tackle him.
Thank God.
What the hell happened?
Thank God. If they lost that game because of that, oh my God. Okay. But you know what? We won the game.
Right.
And all Thursday we didn't think Zeke was playing.
Yeah.
But let's come to the conclusion. You said Zeke's playing the rest
of the year. Zeke's playing the rest of the year.
I agree.
100%.
Again, they said he's practicing this week. Like, they're going to see what they appeal. He's going to play.
He's going to play for the rest of the year.
But you know what? I didn't think they were going to win without Zeke.
I
didn't think so. Not a blowout, but I thought it would have been a close game. But with Zeke, you just look what he does. He lifts the team up.
He does.
He
really does.
Oh man, Zeke and Dak. And Dak just plays so well. Look at that touchdown run he had. He's a dual threat, Dak. How many rushing touchdowns has he had in his career already?
Yeah, he's playing. Look, the thing is that Dak Prescott is playing well. Ezekiel Elliott is playing well. Their offensive line is playing well. Right. Their defense is playing better than expected. The Cowboys are a credible threat. They just happen to be in a division with a team that right now is steamrolling people. And look, and it's the same thing as a couple weeks ago with the Jets. They had that Austin Seferian-Jenkins catch that was ruled a fumble. It's all, for me, I said the Jets would have won that game because in the NFL, it's all about momentum. And the Eagles have a lot of momentum. But the Cowboys aren't backing down. They're playing well. They have momentum on their side just as much. I think that the Cowboys are going to make a legitimate rush. And you said this earlier, and I will reiterate it. I think it was one of the best things you said before. The Cowboys will be one of the scariest teams to come out of a wild card in the NFL this year.
Oh, absolutely. You do not want to play the Cowboys, especially if they go on the road. If you have a running game on the road and you have a pass rush, that's why I said, listen, the Cowboys secondary scares me in the playoffs. They never have a good secondary, but they have a pass rush. Yeah, they're getting to the quarterback, David Irving. They have, and Taco Charlton had a sack this week.
Yeah.
Which is looking good. But you know what? They have the quarterback. They have the running game. They have the offensive line. They have the pass rush. All right? It's just that secondary is the only weakness, I think. But, their defensive coordinator is doing a great job. He coaches them up. Their talent is not great.
What's the status of Dez Bryant?
I'm not sure what I saw. But you know what? Dez has always been – I love Dez. I thought he was the best. I always thought he was one of the best receivers in the league. But you know what? He hasn't been much for them, even recently,
Yeah,
last year.
Yeah, since Dak's taken over.
Dak is making a lot of these receivers look good.
Yeah.
I
mean, Des Bryant-less Cowboys, how do you feel they fare?
I think they're going to be, honestly, I hate to say it, but I think they're going to be okay.
Fair enough.
I really do.
We got a minute left. Let's close this out by talking about the Chiefs. This was a big loss for the Chiefs this week.
Yeah.
That division is now
they could have really
up for grabs.
They could have taken a step in the division.
They could have.
Look, 7-2. Yeah.
Alex Smith, I think he's a better quarterback than everybody gives him credit for. He's a good game manager, but he did throw his first interception, and you can't blame the guy. He was trying to push the ball to Travis Kelce. Who else are you going to throw to in a big decision like this?
Right.
He needed a quick strike, and you know what? He threw his first touchdown, and we're in week 9.
Right. But
they have the weapons too. Tyreek Hill. They have Kareem Hunt, who maybe he hasn't played so well. People don't realize I'm as big of a Jets fan as I am. I'm also a pretty big Chiefs fan too. But Kareem Hunt hasn't played well for the past couple of games. But he's still one of the better running backs in the league if they can get him going. Travis Kelce's always a monster. Tyreek Hill, we talked about his speed. They have all the weapons. Last week I said that the Chiefs were the best team in football. I have to retract that statement right now. What do you see for the Chiefs?
I mean, like you said, the only problem with them is Alex Smith because he's walking on eggshells right now. I feel bad I really do feel bad for the guy because Mahomes, they're
just breathing down his neck.
They're high on Mahomes.
Yeah.
They love Mahomes.
Yeah.
And we pretty much guarantee you, if they don't win a Super Bowl, he's a free agent. He's gone next year. Mahomes is the future.
I'd love to see Alex Smith in green.
But Alex Smith is having an amazing year. He's that guy. They're a good team. But every interception he throws, every loss they have, he's gonna start talking. Remember in San Francisco when he wasn't playing well or he got hurt, Colin Kaepernick came in.
And became their franchise quarterback.
Exactly. This is looking like the same thing right now.
I agree. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's 10 o'clock. I think that's all for us. So, hey, look, this was really fun. I think we should do this again.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Look, we're just really quick. I don't know if we're even still on the air. So if you can hear it, great. If you can't, whatever. Right now, we don't know if we're going to keep this time slot or not. Going up against Monday Night Football is kind of stupid because we're talking about football. But if you want to follow us to figure out what we're going to do, even if we don't go live, we're still going to keep doing shows. Facebook.com/the Slam Sessions Podcast Network. That's where you will find everything to do with this show. There's 2 other shows podcasts that I personally do that are also on there. But if you really are a fan of the Opening Whistle, go on that page, like it. You'll see what we're going to do. We'll try to come back next week if we can find a different time slot where we're not going up against a football game. That would be better, but we'll see what happens. But look, this has been fun.
We'll be back.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Albert Albanese.
I'm Avi Schiffman.
And we'll see you guys next time on the Opening Whistle.